Today I want to talk about not resisting resistance. And I'd like to use boredom as an example. Have you ever really thought about what boredom is and why we run away from it? We do all kinds of things to avoid boredom. But what is boredom? Think of all the energy that we expend running away from this thing called boredom that we've labeled as undesirable. We might spend hours on our smartphone or play video games endlessly or shop on Amazon endlessly. And I'm not saying that any of these things are wrong. It's simply an invitation to investigate. And meditation can be really helpful in this kind of investigation. When we meditate, we sit in silence, within boredom. If boredom arises, actually, or anything else for that matter, we just sit with it. We're not trying to run away from it or numb to it, whatever is arising in our meditation. We're not trying to suppress or repress. We're not trying to fix. We're not trying to even transcend it with some fancy meditation practice. Instead, we're simply being curious and observing this thing called boredom as if we've never seen it before. It's kind of like if you came from another planet and landed on Earth and you've never heard of this thing called boredom. You wouldn't know anything about it. So you wouldn't label it as an undesirable or bad thing. You might know that it's something that these human beings try to avoid, but you would, for yourself, you would simply bring intense curiosity to it and investigate the true nature of this thing that these human beings call boredom. You would be right back to the question, what is boredom? And this is the first step in ending the addictions that we engage in to run away from boredom. When boredom arises, we can say, well, here's boredom. This is what boredom feels like in my forehead, or this is what boredom feels like in my chest, wherever you might feel it in the body. Here are some thoughts that go along with it. Here are the things that I do in order to avoid these sensations and thoughts. I pick up my smartphone when these sensations and thoughts arise. You may even notice that you engage in meditation to avoid boredom. Perhaps you seek enlightenment to avoid being bored. You read all these spiritual books to avoid being bored. And these are all totally natural. So there's no judgment here. I'm not saying this is wrong. We've all done this. For you, it might not be boredom, but it might be some other aspect of your experience, other emotions, maybe impatience, sadness. We bring the same type of practice to it as we investigate its true nature and see how we run away from it. We have so many experiences that we don't want, and then we resist. We want some other moment than the moment that we're having right here and right now. Please recognize that this resistance or non-acceptance is not a problem. It's not something that we then have to resist. In fact, resistance is divine. It's holy. And non-acceptance of the resistance too is holy. I often call this ego or the egoic mind or the personal self. And this can carry the connotation that this is somehow bad or unholy. Can we love that part of us that so deeply just wants to run away? I'm not saying that we shouldn't resist or that our resistance is wrong. To say this is a very dualistic teaching. Can we deeply accept our non-acceptance? Can we see that our resistance is deeply divine, even those aspects of ourselves that want to run away from the current experience and desires another experience is divine. So I'm inviting you to welcome even resistance. welcome every sensation, every thought, every emotion, including resistance. Can we throw out the welcome mat for it all, to use Rumi's line from The Guest House? When you know that deep down your consciousness itself, then every manifestation within that consciousness is divine, is welcome, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's painful. The 10,000 sorrows, as they say. Every manifestation is an expression of divine love and consciousness. To use the metaphor of the ocean and the wave, every wave is an expression of the ocean. No wave is a mistake or a bad wave in the ocean. When we meditate, or when we roam about in our daily lives, we're not trying to get rid of waves. We're not trying to change ourselves. Fundamentally, there is nothing wrong with you. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, if you did, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and remember, I have the free ebook that you can access in the description below. Thank you, and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.